Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Dante. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to submit this as a showcase to you guys. Thanks to the game committee for just even taking the time to review it. I do appreciate it. We're going to be playing StepManiaX today, which is a fairly new rhythm game, kind of based on skill and timing and precision. And while I'm playing this, obviously it's kind of hard to talk. So I wasn't sure how to do this showcase, and what I decided that I wanted to do was have two very good friends in the community be a part of this as well. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Andy457 player myself.
And I am Sigma. I am a person that works on the content development team for StepManiaX, and I'm very excited to be a part of this.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for being here. So let's go ahead and start a timer because we're going for like 1 hour for this, and let's get right to it.
Alright, so Dante's going to be playing on Wild Mode, which is using just one pad, and it is the highest difficulty in the game. He'll be playing a variety of songs ranging in difficulty.
Yeah, and then in contrast to other dance games, there is only two doubles modes, or modes that use two pads, three. There's the dual mode, which uses the left, right, and center panels on both pads. There's full, which uses all 10 panels. And then there's team charts, which are designed for two people to play and alternate pad sides when they play.
Yeah, one day we'll actually be able to, right now I only have a one pad setup. So this is what we've been playing for the last 3 months. I personally have been a rhythm game player for upwards of 15, 17 years now, maybe. So, but I've only had the pleasure of playing this game for maybe about 3 months now. But a lot of the skill kind of correlates over. So let's, you guys might know this song from DDR way back. I'll let you guys kind of take it from here.
Are you ready?
So yeah, if you played DDR in your local mall arcade growing up, you may have seen this song So Deep. It's a pretty classic Dance Dance Revolution song. You'll notice a few of those throughout the showcase here that Dante will be doing. We won't point them all out to you. But one thing I want to mention is if you see any songs in this game that you recognize, you might notice that a lot of the step charts will pay homage to the old charts that the game's appeared on, which is a nice touch that the game has.
Yep, this game does a nice fine balance of calling back to the old days to make us feel nostalgic, and also giving these songs a new, fresh look for the modern age.
One thing to keep a note about this game as well is it's very, very visual. You'll notice that the songs have unique background videos, and you can also check out the pad that Dante is stepping on. Each song has unique light patterns that appear across all 9 panels on the pad, which a lot of them have specific animations, and they're really cool and very visual as well.
Yeah, it's very, very time-sensitive work, and the 1 or 2 people that work on the lights for the game spend lots of hours making sure that every detail is right. It's beautiful. Very good.
He's done it. He's got the full combo.
That's actually a pretty good score. I think that might actually be a personal record.
Why don't you go
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Oh, so this is actually complete happenstance that worked out. You guys want to talk about how, because I'm a little out of breath, that's kind of tough. You want to talk about this little QR code that's at the bottom left real fast?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So StepManiaX is unique in that it has very little network features in order to comply with like GDPR over in Europe. And one way that it goes about this is displaying a QR code on the screen that you can use to scan with the StepManiaX app. It's available on iOS or Android, and you just scan your thing to it. And the QR code can save up to the last 5 songs played. So if you have like a private setup and you're playing, you can scan it every 5 times and it will get your scores.
Yeah, we're going to try and not scan too many songs here today for this. And a note aside that I probably should have put at the beginning, as far as the submission goes, any downtime where we're not talking would probably be a really good time to add in donations. We could always queue that up if we do manage to get in to the marathon. But let's get over to our next song. I know you guys like this one. That band looks familiar.
Yeah, you might recognize the artist name there, Anamanaguchi of the Scott Pilgrim video game soundtrack fame, for sure.
This is a great choice.
It is a great choice. The announcer even knows. That's like what's
The
so good
announcer
about it.
is quite well aware of what you are doing in this showcase.
Action.
This is another song that's really big on the visual. You'll notice the background of the song, the video in the background is a totally unique video for this song. Okay, you'll probably recognize the general feel of the song by Anamanaguchi if you played the Scott Pilgrim video game. I'm quite excited myself that that game recently was re-released on all the major platforms. People can play that again.
Is it also available on PS5 yet?
That I am not sure of.
300 combo.
All right, here we go with a little bit of tech, right?
We do indeed. Here we go. So you'll notice here, coming up, there will be what we like to call foot switches. So we'll wait for Dante to get to those and we'll speak to a little bit more about them so you can see them. So right there, you saw there were those mines on the left and right arrows, and then the two middle arrows. So he had to take his feet off of being on the side, and then alternate his feet hitting the middle panel so his foot isn't left to touch the mine there. We call those foot switches. This song features a nice little introduction to them on 8th notes, and you'll see them used a lot more in more complicated shows coming up. Those are mine columns too. We'll talk about those a little bit later. You just don't want to put your foot anywhere in that area during the mine column.
That's
You have a small
literally
window. Look at that big
part of
combo.
the song.
That
combo's
is a
huge.
very big combo.
It's a large combo.
Nice job.
Nice job, Dante.
We got the 99. I kind of feel like a...
Star.
Oh, here we go.
The game has a lot of little Easter eggs. The devs don't always disclose them to us as a community, so we have to kind of discover them on our own. And
Get it on our own?
yeah, so that's one of the more prominent ones there. When you touch the star, the announcer just has a couple of lines of.
Star.
He sounds so
I'm going to be
excited.
completely honest, and I didn't know that that was in game. I thought you had like a Stream Deck button that did that.
No.
No, but that would be extra funny.
I had zero idea that was built into the game. That's amazing.
All right, so this next song that Nick is about to play is
Your time is now.
made by the same artist as So Deep, and this is actually an original to the game.
Ready.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and the very beginning of this song has the longest roll stream in the game. And how rolls work in this game is if you've ever played Taiko Drum Master before and you see those balloon notes and they have a number attached to them, you just have to hit that roll the number of times it says to hit it. And you can choose to either hit it on beat or hit it as fast as you can.
There's a small roll right there. May I call your attention to the pad to see a pretty cool pad light pattern happening right now.
Yep, there's some Tetris going on right now. And since there's a bunch of them in this chart, I guess I'll take a moment to explain mine holds. Mine holds are a feature exclusive to StepManiaX, where it's basically you don't want to put your foot anywhere near it, but you can hold the foot on it for up to about a quarter note, I believe. It's either an eighth or a quarter note. You won't get penalized, but anything up beyond that, then you get a tick and lose a little percentage.
500 combo. Full combo.
I don't think that was really, really bad.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It was pretty good.
I wonder if Dainty will get a miss
Are
tonight.
impressive.
Oh, I guarantee you we're gonna get a miss, but we're gonna have fun doing it. Like that's.
Well,
that's
we're just gonna have to donate and find out.
Yeah.
Ooh, true.
Do you have that donation incentive that we'll get to? This next one's a doozy, guys.
The next song.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about the tech. We saw the foot switches. We saw the rolls. We saw a few bits of tech in the previous two songs. Critical Hit kind of mashes all the tech together.
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot going on the screen, and honestly, when you haven't played rhythm games a long time, you're kind of looking at this like, how are you supposed to do it? I'm gonna attempt to show you guys how to do it. Obviously, I'm still human, so we'll see how this goes. But this song actually came out this month, and it's so good. It is so good.
Yeah, the game features pretty frequent updates, typically monthly, that add a few songs to the game. So this is one of the latest songs that was added.
Yeah, this song slaps.
Get ready. Action.
Oh, you'll see right here, the very first note of the song is a note where you have to hit 3 notes at once. So we like to call those brackets generally. Dancy had to make sure he hits 2 arrows with 1 foot and then the other arrow with his other foot. You'll see lots of those in this chart. Some more foot switches right there.
All right, coming up, we have some bracket notes coming.
Yeah, so that would typically be jumps. Those were designed to be hit with 1 foot. So he put his foot on the bracket of the 2 panels and put those with 1 foot.
Yeah, what the game takes advantage of is that old-style dance pads usually have these brackets in between the arrows, so it would typically be more difficult without some modification to add the middle pattern. But because StepManiaX does flush panels, the game makes good use of that to make more complex patterns.
Get some foot switches into those brackets right there. Nothing too complicated. Easy. Making quick work. He got past the jump scare right there. That was amazing.
I'm a very big fan of center up and center down bracket patterns.
Yeah, they're actually quite fun. I agree.
Nice cooldown.
Nice 12th note outro right here. Ending on the bracket. Well done. We see that you got a miss. We're not going to penalize you too much for it.
Hey, we got a couple of red X's.
Excellent.
That's okay too. But yeah, so the way those work, you get the check mark if you get the hold, or if you get all of those rolls where you tap everything out. But we didn't get all the taps on a couple of them, so that's where the red X's come from. Oh man.
Select another.
Let me get a little
Okay,
bit of water.
you got a nice cooldown song coming up right here.
Yeah, we got a cooldown song. It doesn't mean it's not a good song though.
No, in my opinion, this is... I mean, Critical Hit's a pretty good song, but I don't think anything tops this song right here.
Confirm the song. Options.
So you'll notice as he was choosing his mods there, he can choose like a scroll BPM, and you can see that there were 2 different BPMs shown. That's because this song has slowdowns inside of
Let's
it.
see the energy.
And we will talk about those because this song has a nice mechanic that lets the player know when a tempo change or stop is appearing by the colored lines in the center of the play area.
Which is another thing I don't believe. Like, I don't think there's any other rhythm game that does something
No,
like that.
there's no other game that does that for sure. And it's quite handy as a frequent rhythm game player for sure.
Yeah.
So you'll see coming up here after the run, you'll see a yellow line, which indicates right there that the chart slows down.
200 combo.
You'll see some more long rolls coming up here. All Dancy has to do is just tap the note with his foot and hit the other notes with his off foot right there. He has to just tap it that number of times naturally. He'll get the roll complete. And there's the red line there for the stop.
300 combo.
And another fun fact, this song is also original to StepManiaX.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow. All the good songs
Yeah.
are so original. That's amazing.
Full combo.
Yeah. Most of the SMX originals really do rip.
Yeah, they're so
I'd
good.
agree with that.
The other thing is, like,
You're beautiful.
my biggest complaint with how good some of these songs are is that there are not long versions for me to buy and listen to, like, at the gym or something, because they're that good. Like, I want them, you know?
We can do a quick plug, by the way. There is a StepManiaX Spotify playlist to listen to these songs. If you want to check that out afterwards, you can go and check out some of the music you heard here tonight on the StepManiaX playlist on Spotify.
Yeah, and actually, a quick side note, there is one original that did get released as a long version. The remix of July is available on Bandcamp.
Oh, wow.
Good to know.
So,
I'll link it to you after if you'd like.
we're not going to play Medicine, but
We're not playing Medicine, no. You
sure you guys saw this.
saw the image to the right of that song. You know we're going to play this.
yeah, this is, I think pretty much any gamer has probably heard this song at least once, right?
Or at least seen that image before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is obviously not the original. It is
Here
a
we go.
remix, but
Look at that animation for the song loading. That's
I
amazing.
love that.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm playing Undertale.
Ready. Begin.
Do you have any story, Sigma, about how this song got into the game? How that was like? Do you know any lore about that?
Unfortunately, I don't, but I will say that I was incredibly surprised to see it, as well as the
Yeah,
wonderful
same.
video that was made.
100
Yep.
combo.
Again, with the visuals that this game has. We even have the sound effects talking to you during the battle here.
Yep.
Tricky 30-second notes there, pretty fast.
400 combo.
Yeah, this chart is deceitfully technical.
I was just about to say, like, getting out of the way of all the mines is actually quite complicated as well.
I guess we beat the boss.
You destroyed him.
Easy.
Perfect combo.
Perfect combo.
And a big combo.
You're
Yeah, big old combo.
unstoppable.
I guess I am unstoppable.
Unstoppable, Dante, unstoppable.
Yeah. So, man, I gotta say, this next track, I'm really digging. This came out like right after I got the game,
Select the next track.
and I kind of think everybody likes it. So, getting back into this like a little bit harder territory. You see that grading scale down there. This is a 23. We've talked about this a little bit. You saw me play a 25 already. It goes up to, for now, 27 on the wild difficulty. So there is that donation incentive.
Difficulty confirmation.
If we get it,
Move
we'll
your
play the
feet to the
127 in this game.
Ready? Go.
The away starts like pretty quickly. You can see here right into those 16th note patterns.
Yep. This whole chart is non-stop energy, and I love it.
This is another song you can look out for those different colored bars in the middle to indicate some tempo changes and stops.
Yeah, the flow of this chart does have some similarities to,
Silence.
yes, silence.
Yeah. Just a little bit harder.
Also, hearing all of this wonderful dance music makes me miss events and concerts.
Very true.
We'll get back.
400 combo.
We'll get back.
Soon enough. Yeah, a live dance game showcase at GDQ would actually be quite hype.
That would be so extra to bring this setup on stage.
Oh man, that was so good.
Full combo.
I guess we probably didn't discuss this. So you see the different gradings. We've got the perfect with the flashing animation, the 2 exclamation points. That window is 20 milliseconds. So it's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's like
speedrunners know all about milliseconds.
That's right.
Yes.
It's tight.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than 1 frame on each side of the window. So a little bit more than 2 frames.
So all you speedrunners with your just frame inputs are well aware of how small that is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In comparison, DDR's window roughly measures out to 16.7, or a a frame on each side, and in the Groove was what, 21.5.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and In the Groove was based off of StepMania, not to be confused with StepManiaX, right?
Quite different actually.
Yeah.
All right, well, Dante, you ready to ramp it up and play a little harder stuff?
I guess it might be time for a towel break. So we started the song, or we started the preview music. This would probably be a good time for a donation, if we had any. I love you guys in chat. So let's do it.
So you guys have probably heard this song before, just maybe not in this version that you were about to hear it in.
This is where we're gonna get my heart rate up pretty high.
Lots of very fast 16-note streaming happening in this song, and lots of paying attention to the middle panel, which I'll talk a little bit about as Dante's hitting these streams. The one thing that's different about this game compared to other dance games is that the middle panel is very, very close, and it's easy to touch multiple panels at once when you're hitting the middle panel, which can trigger some misjudgments or some early or late judgments on other panels. So when you're hitting the middle panel, you want to be very careful that you're only hitting the middle panel.
This is the only dance. Yeah, this is the only dance game I can think of where in certain instances playing on your toes is actually preferable.
For sure, it really helps. You'll see here the runs are starting right here.
300 combo.
I would be on the floor if I tried to play this.
And it never really lets up either.
It's not that bad, guys.
200 combo.
Are you ready to do it again, Dante?
Sure.
So this time he has a mind column in the middle of this whole arrow, this whole section. So again, we touched on that you're allowed to touch the arrow that the mind hold is on, but you just can't keep it there and hold it there. So he is grazing over it on the middle panel there, but he's not holding it down long enough to trigger the mind to occur.
Yeah, that goes back to what I mentioned earlier about you can let go around 1/8 or 1/4 note spacing for the mind hold, so you don't trigger an X.
You make that look quite easy, Dante, by the way.
Thank you. It sounds super fun.
Excellent moves. You're a natural.
I mean,
You're a natural.
Yeah, early on in this game's life, I believe this was the hardest song until they brought on the 26s.
I could see why it was one of the hardest ones early on, for sure.
Definitely.
Let's dial it back. Have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, let's
I
get
guess.
funky really quick.
All right.
Select the next song.
Oh, are we playing this now?
We're going to the Dolphins.
We're going to the Dolphins.
So be sure that when the song's loading here, that you guys check out the loading animation of the graphic here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of really good loading graphics. This one's really good.
And the song's really good.
Pay attention to the dolphin because he's awesome.
Let the beat control your body.
There goes the dolphin. He's loading.
That's so Windows 98. I love it.
Are you ready?
It's so good.
Go.
So this song, you're going to see lots of different timing. So instead of just being standard quarter notes, eighth notes, or 16th notes, you're going to see some 12th notes here, which equates to basically like doing a triplet if you're familiar with like music.
Yeah, like a
wording.
3/4 time signature.
Right. tell you about the funky dolphins.
Oh, yeah,
Another really good visual, as you can see.
The visual of this are top notch.
We need a dolphin emote for this song for sure.
Yeah.
200 combo.
So right here, there's another part that's really hard to stay off the center panel when you're doing like those quick little bursts from up to middle or from down to middle. So very hard to stay off the center panel there.
300 combo.
To a new dolphin sounds because it's so musical. Was the dolphin riding in the car with the tiger? That's what I thought it was. Okay, just making sure I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's definitely one of my favorite songs in this game. The artist, Pyramid.
New high score.
Like if you like that song, they're on Spotify too. They're
featured quite heavily in this game.
Yeah, they have 3 different songs. I think we're actually going to play another one. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if time allows.
Alright, well, you had your little cooldown. You ready to go again?
I guess. We'll see. We'll see if my body's ready, guys. I can alphabet.
I was going to ask you when are you going to fail on finding the alphabet.
That's one of the things about playing rhythm games. Sometimes your brain just doesn't work. And you just have to take a minute to breathe and collect your thoughts.
And read some donations.
That's right. So I'm gonna give about 30 seconds here just so I can kind of get my heart rate down a little bit. Be a good time for donations.
Oh, you need a break? You're not ready to just go?
I mean, I'm not Superman.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Always important to hydrate.
It is.
Yes, please stay hydrated, kids.
Everyone in the chat, please hydrate.
They have bots for that in Twitch now, I'm told.
They do.
Confirm the song. Options.
So before we get into this, you'll see one of the hardest parts of this, there's a lot of like jump step patterns. So like me hitting 2 arrows with 2 feet and then having to alternate back to just 1, back and forth. As well as that, there are broken up rhythms that are kind of in the 16th note pattern. And at 200, what was it, 212?
196.
Yeah, 196, yeah. It's pretty fast. It is pretty
It's pretty fast.
So,
Confirm difficulty.
let's do it.
Great.
Great.
I hope I do great.
Only great?
Ready.
Only great.
Go for it.
So the song starts pretty slow right here, but that only lasts for a few measures as we pick it up right here, indicated by that yellow note right there in the middle. You may remember Monolith from the In the Groove days if you were an In the Groove player when that game was around.
Yeah, Affinity is one of the many aliases of Kyle Ward, who is the publisher and director of this game. And this is the only song that I know of that sounds like this, and I wish he would make more.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I wasn't sure. I thought this was a Kyle Ward alias, but I wasn't positive because it's quite unique.
I only know that because my favorite Affinity track is Y2C.
Gotcha.
And that wasn't put into a rhythm game until Pump It Up Pro 1.
Another game that Kyle had his hand in. So here's those step jumps that Dancy was speaking about. Some broken up ones right there. A lot of movement there at the end.
It
Nice
really
job.
is.
Yeah, those candles are rough.
It's a lot of movement.
You want to explain what a candle is really quick since we use that terminology?
Great.
Oh, sure thing. So a candle. So, what's that movie where the characters were dancing over the candle. But anyway, imagine if there was a candle on the center panel, and when you're going in an up, left, or up, right, down motion, and Nick will do a quick demonstration.
Up, left, down, right, or up.
No,
left.
No. I want you to do up, left, down, and then up, right, down. Yeah. So that's if you're a regular in the dance game community, that is a common term that we use to call, and we call them candle patterns.
Yeah, you have to bring your feet around, do a lot of movement. So we talked about DDR for a bit, and we've talked about original songs for this game. And this one's like a big mesh of all of that into one big culminating song.
Definitely.
It's so good.
Yeah, so you might recognize the artist name if you're a DDR player, Naoki. Naoki was a very, very prominent figure in terms of the production of DDR back in the day.
Yep, and this song is a direct callback to his famous song "Before You." The artwork looks very similar, and when Nick starts the song, I want everyone to pay attention to the graphic because there's another Easter egg.
Yes. Yeah, it's really cool here, so keep your eyes peeled.
Let's light this candle.
It's so good.
It's such a nice touch.
Yeah. Get ready. You know what this is.
We all know what this is.
Do you have any lore about Naoki being involved with StepManiaX, Sigma?
So before StepManiaX, or rather before Naoki worked with Kyle on StepManiaX, he was working on a game called Seven's Code. And Seven's Code, unfortunately, did not turn out to be very successful. And there was some leftover songs that Naoki decided that he wanted to give to Kyle to put in the game. So there's a couple other Naoki tracks in here that were made original for StepManiaX, but a couple of the other songs were pullovers from Seven's Code. This one, however, is an original.
Well, there's one important thing to note about Naoki in previous songs is he used to have the alias Omega, and everybody knows the DDR boss song Max 300. And I won't spoil what is on this game, but if we get the donation incentive, then maybe you'll see something a little bit related to Max 300. You better move your feet there, Dante, and stay on beat too.
That's right. As soon as I started talking, we got off beat though.
Nice.
Nice
Nice
score.
job, nice job.
Man. The song list is like, I really wish I could just show everyone
Nice job.
the full song list because it's that good, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think there's any bad songs in this game whatsoever.
Yeah. There are some that are objectively better than others, but none of them are bad. I'm going to mix this up and make an easier chart harder now. So if you guys want to kind of explain what's going to be happening here, feel free.
Oh yeah, so Dante's gonna play a classic song you may have heard before, Don Darrion. What's happening is he's gonna make it a little bit more difficult, and we're gonna put some mods on. So you see in this mod selection screen, there's an effects tab. And this effects tab is various effects that we can turn on that impact the arrows that appear on the screen. So you'll just get a little bit of taste of that right here while he's playing this song.
Yeah, you can see the preview thing up at the top.
Yeah, so we have 3 different ones on. The arrows are going to be spinning the whole time. They're going to kind of be doing a wave pattern, and they're going to be going a little crazy. And I picked the wrong one.
I was gonna mention I thought you just wanted Beat and Dizzy, but you know you got a little spicy
Hey,
with it. That's okay.
sometimes we make mistakes and we just got to own up to them. You know, we're doing
You're a
it live.
star. Oh, you didn't press it. Darn.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Float,
Yeah,
that's the
don't
one
wave.
you don't want. At least not mixed with those other ones.
Correct. All right, take 2. Here we go. No problem.
Yeah, so you see the whole chart's kind of moving back and forth too.
Yeah, it's moving to the beat a little bit left and right there. So just a fun little mod area here. If you've seen some StepMania videos that have what we like to call mod charts, you may have seen things that look like this. And just another call out to the visuals. I really like the tide light pattern on this song. It's a really good color scheme.
100 combo.
And this would be a good song for donations as Dante reads these mods very carefully in his head.
Yep.
200 combo. 300 combo.
Nice
Well
job.
done, well done.
A 95, a 99 with those mods is very, very good.
Yeah, it adds a
Well,
little
combo
bit.
with the mods is very good.
Amazing performance.
It makes it harder, obviously. If you kind of stared at it long enough, you probably saw the pattern. It's kind of easy, eventually, to get a grasp on once you kind of understand the gimmick. But yeah, if you did that the first time, it's like super, super hard. But when you've played for so long, it kind of comes to you. At least that's kind of how I feel about it.
Select the next song.
So there's another throwback here with DDR. Sorta.
Yeah. So something I'd like to explain is you guys, if you've played DDR in the past, you might recognize this song, but it has a different name. In DDR, it was called Rhythm and Police. Music and Police is the actual name of the song. I honestly can't speak to why they called it Rhythm and Police in DDR, but yeah, this is the actual song name of the song
And you see
in the
that
Dance Mania album.
CJ Crew is the original artist with like Christian D, but KAW, that's Call. So that is another throwback to another alias of Kyle Ward. You may notice that K and W in there. So again, him having some part in this remix, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it's super good. And then if you've played, like we said, if you play DDR, it's definitely something that you're going to remember.
Yeah, it would be more fair to call it a remaster.
Yeah, this is the HD remaster version.
Are you ready?
Exactly what it is.
Go.
And the steps for the song are actually quite different than you may remember, but it does do, like I mentioned before, it has a good middle section with the crossovers where you have to move your foot over the other foot. It represents the crossover section really well that you may remember if you played this game in the past. If you played DDR in the past.
100 combo.
Nice middle panel section there where you got to make sure that you're not encroaching on any other arrows while you're hitting the middle panel.
Did you guys just hear that siren that came from my mic? Because a cop car literally just drove by with the siren on. That was really funny.
I didn't, but that would have been amazing actually.
I really love the background video for this too. It's
Yeah, more
like,
visuals that are really impressive.
Yeah.
StepManiaX. That's one thing when I played this game for the first time, I never knew that I appreciated as much, as a lot of the games don't have a huge, heavy focus on the visuals as this game does.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And the color palettes they use, it's very consistent with the way the rest of the game looks, so it all looks like this nice, complete package.
Full
Nice job.
combo.
And there's the 457 combo.
There's the 457.
shout outs to our comm, Andy457.
That's me, it's why I'm here, just for that song.
Score.
That was the only way I could convince him to actually help out with this, was that if I
True.
played the song with 457 steps in it.
Select another.
We touched on In the Groove a little while back, an older game based off of StepMania. And if you're familiar with that, you're probably familiar with this song.
In this song, you have to pay attention to the pad at the beginning of the song. You have to look at the dance pad that Dante is stepping on.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite effect that they put in the game. You heard that duck. You see the duck on the screen, but this game actually gets a little meta. It goes further beyond. It puts the duck on the controller, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
So watch out for the duck.
I do got one question for you, Nick.
Yeah?
How can you get this stuff straight without any ducks?
There's the duck. It went that way, and now it's going the other way. There it goes. So this is by Smiley. This is yet another alias that Kyle wore.
Yeah, songs under the Smiley alias are usually 160 or faster, and they got a more happy, upbeat feel to it.
Definitely more upbeat. Here comes the duck.
One of the best originals for this game, there's a Smiley song called Emotion, and it never appeared in any of the previous Kyle Ward games. I was really happy to see it added into this game.
Oh, that's great. I wasn't aware that wasn't in anything else before that as well. Some nice drills there. We like to call those drills in the dance game scene where you're repeatedly hitting 2 arrows back and forth.
I remember a time when we called them ladders.
I don't know if I remember that time. I can see that though. There's our first lift. We have lifts coming up here in a future song, but we saw right there is a lift, little mark you see at the end of the holds there. You have to release off the panel at the correct time rather than stepping on it at the correct time. That's how you get the check mark judgment on those lifts.
Yeah, and I believe lifts are the only way you can get the exclamation point marker if you let go too early.
Yep.
That would be correct, yes.
And
Nice
if you've
job,
ever
Dan.
been in one of my streams, you know that I mess those lifts up so much.
That was a hard one too, just that jump out of nowhere.
Yeah. The timing window is surprisingly tight for lifts.
It is.
It's also a little later than what you kind of expect it to be, but after you play a few times, you're like, oh, I get it now. And it's fun. Yeah?
So the next song that Dandy's going to play will show off a little bit more lifts right at the very beginning.
Music.
And it's also one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, so we'll plug this really fast. If you're an old rhythm game player, this song was actually first featured on DDR Max 1. It was on home version, so you could play it on your PlayStation 2. It was also on arcade, the Japanese release.
So yeah, fun fact, it's available on Max 2 US, not Max 1 US.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So-
but if you get Max 1 JP, it is available there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to take like 2 seconds here just to kind of, Zuza wasn't too hard. We've been going for about 45 minutes. I do want to get another swig of water. We've been talking a bit. Be a good donation point if we had some.
And look at the pretty lights on the pad in the meantime as well.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, to all my trans fans in the chat, I think we can all agree how much we missed Vincent and Moore.
Yes, even people that haven't played DDR Max might recognize that name for sure.
All right, I'm really hoping we get the announcer soundbite when we start one of these songs. We've gone pretty far into the song list, and we haven't gotten it yet. It was something we really wanted to show off here just because it's just hilarious and awesome at the same time. Let's see if it happens here.
You just summoned it. Here we go.
With this song, you can do no wrong.
Well, that one's pretty good.
It's true. You can't do any wrong.
There is no lie there.
Are you ready?
Alright, so you'll see here these intro freeze notes have the lift marker at the end of them. So Dainty has to lift his foot up when it gets to that point right there. It's just on beat, but he just has to release at that point. If you want to sing along, the lyrics are in the background of the video as well.
Just yet another nice touch for the nostalgic player. Every time I hear this song, I feel like I'm 12 years old again.
It's quite a throwback, that's for sure.
300 combo.
Sing along, chat. Type the words that you see as fast as you can. It's a typing race.
400.
Anybody do it? I wonder. Cute mind holds here. Stay in the middle. 3 arrows.
Yeah, I like patterns that make you like go back and forth on the vertical axis of the panels.
Yeah, it makes you move in a way that you've never had to move on a dance game before.
Full combo.
Yeah, it's definitely unique to this game.
Very unique.
5-star.
5-star.
I heard the word.
Star.
There it is.
There it is. So we got another fun throwback. We'll put some more mods on. Probably go with the same ones that we had earlier.
Yeah, let's put some mods back on. Make it a little more interesting. Be a good donation break as well.
Yeah. So while I'm getting this set up, feel free to read a couple donations.
Options.
You turned wave on.
That's what we want.
Okay. Oh, you didn't want float. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, float was.
Ice in a snowstorm.
I actually have
Ooh, you're
not
like
heard
ice
that
in a
one before.
snowstorm.
That's one I haven't heard yet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that one either. There's so many of them.
So I mentioned the top in another throwback song, but one thing I mentioned is that the game likes to pay homage to older charts for older step patterns and other music games, and this game definitely throws that out of the water. Step artist Joy really creates like their own interpretation of the song during this chart right here. They incorporate a lot of elements of modern tech. You see the rolls with foot switches and all of that as well. We'll have some bracket tech coming up towards the end as well. StepManiaX makes that quite natural to hit those where you have to hit the center and up or the center and down at the same time. You just gotta position your foot slightly differently than you're used to.
Yeah, if you play 4-panel and you play a typical conservative play style, you're basically hitting the center panel all of the time.
Very true.
Yeah, it's really hard to switch gears. Coming to this game, you have to adapt to be able to not do that. So guys, we're getting close.
Yeah, I'm checking the totals that we're getting right now, and I think we've met that donation total actually.
All right. Well, you guys made this possible, and so thank you guys for good calls. We're gonna show you guys the hardest song in the game, and we're just gonna do our best because it's a doozy.
Pretty sure you'll have no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, I have the utmost confidence.
So as I mentioned to, if you remember Max 300 before, this is Max 428. It's a little faster. Just a little bit, not much.
Just a little bit.
It's the first entry to the Max series. And God,
Many years.
there was technically another one in Crossbeats, but the name doesn't quite line up. The song's called ZZ.
Oh, I see.
But it sounds sort of like this, and it's one of the hardest songs in Crossbeats.
So before we get into this, just real quick, and the guys will probably do a really good job of explaining this. There's a lot of weird tech that goes into this. There's a lot of really fast notes, stuff you've seen along the way, kind of all culminating into one chaotic song. Lots of just crazy BPM changes. You're going to see it look really slow at the beginning, and by the end, it's going to be zooming. So zooming. It's going to be heckin' zooming.
Let's take
Yeah, so we'll kind of let Dancy go here, but just one thing that's nice is that the song will not be 428 beats a minute the entire time, thankfully for Dancy's safety here.
Go for it.
But the song varies many BPMs, lots of very dense notes. He's moving his feet quite fast. Kind of throws everything at him, but you get to see the hardest content the game has to offer right here. A little slow down here. You could call it a break, but it's not much of a break.
No, it's not. This chart is incredibly difficult.
Very difficult. We have a nice, really long roll right here. Have to keep tapping that roll while tapping the other arrows as well. And then we get right back into it.
So I just pulled up the global ranking for this song. There's less than 20 clears on this on the entire server.
Yeah, it's not conquered by many. And here we go, approaching the fastest part. Lights are looking good.
And yeah, this part.
And we got a clear.
Very good job.
Not many people can do that.
Let's
Nicely
go.
done, Dancy. Nicely done.
Let's go. Man.
Hey, not bad.
So like,
Hey, not bad.
you guys have been seeing a lot of like high 90s, like in the 90s scores.
Yeah,
You know,
good point.
And 82 is only 10,000 off world record. Like world
I
record.
was gonna say, I believe world record is 92 on this song.
Yeah.
Yeah, world
As of
record is
today.
92 111, and your current best is 88 178.
Yeah, it's super hard. And to be honest, that's only the fourth time I've passed the song. So, man, it's rough.
Let's get some hype. Give it up for Dancy in the chat, everybody. Well done.
Yo.
Well done.
We did it. We did the hard thing. We're going to go back to easy stuff for a minute while I catch my breath.
Read some donations as we end up the showcase here with a few more songs.
So, this song is
I believe
probably...
Sigma has something to say about this song.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite ones. Honestly,
Yeah,
so.
this is the one chart in the showcase that I wrote myself. I'm very happy with the result, and yeah, I can't wait to watch Dante play it again. And also watch for the other animation on the graphic at the start of the song. The little ice shink.
Ooh, fancy.
It's really good. There's just so many small details that make the game pop, like with that visual.
Yeah,
effect.
I agree. That's my favorite part about the game.
Also, big shout out to T2 Kazuya for this absolutely killer remix.
Yeah, it's quite unique to the original song. If anybody played the original in the Groove 2, you might recognize Kagami, my Ka. This remix is a really unique take on the song for sure.
More fun foot switches.
Nicely charted foot switches here, Sigma.
Thank you.
Foot switch is definitely like my favorite in modern dance games for sure. It's also quite nice to be able to do them on the center panel. It feels really natural on the StepManiaX pad. It's a nice opportunity for that pattern that the StepManiaX game.
I love adding them in on single start because it makes you feel like you're moving from like the left side to the right side of the path. You even
Correct,
though you're
yeah.
not moving that much.
Right. Ooh, that run with those middle arrows right there. Well done. Nice job.
Very nice.
That song is
Your highest
deceptively
scores on Showcase.
The song is deceptively hard to be a 21.
You're a machine.
You're a machine, Dante.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna have to kick in that machine gear if
Oh, I see what we have next. Correct.
yeah, if I'm gonna pull these next couple songs off. So we're gonna end on a couple of really hard songs. They're not quite number rated as high as what we've played so far, but they definitely have a good bit of difficulty to them.
Yeah, just because they're not a 27 or a 26 does not mean they're not very difficult.
So yeah, this would be a good spot for a donation while I hydrate just a little bit so we don't have any accidents here on stream. The other thing about dance games, you can't overhydrate because then you can't move.
Confirm your selection.
All right, you may recognize Gargoyle from some other music games, such as Pump It Up, another dance game. This one is featured in that game.
And if you're really old school, then you know this from O2 Jam back in 2003.
That's
a throwback.
That's a throwback.
Okay.
So
All right,
Gargoyle
let's-
has a lot of long 16th note runs. You'll
see
see
what we
them
can do.
featured here throughout the song, mainly towards the end here.
Begin.
And they have some pretty complicated patterning as well, which makes the song quite tough. And some 30 seconds, really fast notes that go into coming out of certain sections of the song that are very hard to hit accurately. The break of the song, that's the hardest part of the song. I believe Dante agrees, as he gets
Yep.
some non-perfects there.
200 combo.
I really like the runs in this chart.
I like them too, but it takes a lot of mental energy to process getting your foot on the right panels at the right time.
Yeah,
It's a lot of repeating patterns going back and forth, as you see here.
and you have to lift your feet up higher so you don't get it early on the center note.
Correct. Dante makes quick work of those runs right there.
This is actually the hardest part of the song.
Oh, this is the one at the middle panel. Okay, I see.
Just coming
Yeah, I
down
don't-
from moving so fast, it's tough.
That's true.
300 combo.
Watch out for this lift. Ooh, we did it.
I love that like racquetball sound in that song. That's a good sample.
Twin star.
Very good.
Oh man.
It sounds like the sample in Stoic?
It does, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so we're running out of time. We got one more really fun 24 for you guys.
If you played Kyle Ward's touchscreen rhythm game that was available on mobile for a period of time, Re-Rave, you definitely are familiar with this song.
Yeah, because when it came out, it was the absolute hardest song in the game. It was the first level 13 in Re-Rave. And it was the first chart to feature things like double chords and all sorts of craziness.
Yeah, this
It's
song.
quite difficult on this game as well.
Yeah, it's not easy on this by any stretch, but mentally for me, it's easier on my feet than it ever was in another game, you know, with my fingers touching a screen. So,
Confirm selection.
let's
Make
do it.
each step your masterpiece.
Let's do it. Make it your masterpiece, Dante.
We never got to kick
Right.
the tires and light the fires.
One day.
Oh, I need to flex for a second because I was the second person in the world to pull combo on Re-Rave.
Ooh, nice flex. Weird flex, but nice flex. This song has a little bit of everything you can see here. It's got lifts in between everything. It's got a lot of center panel stuff. Got to be careful on the center panel.
200 combo.
And I always had a very hard time with the rhythms towards the end of this song. You'll see those coming up here shortly.
Yeah.
300 combo.
I could never do them on Re-Rave, and I can't do them much better on this game.
400 combo.
This is a cat jam for sure, by the way. Everybody in chat wants to put their cat jams in chat.
500 combo.
All right, here are those super complex rhythms you were talking about.
600 combo.
It wasn't enough that they were complicated in terms of rhythm, but they also put the middle panel here for the 16th notes, makes it even harder.
Perfect combo.
But we got a full combo. Nice job, Nancy. Nice job.
Hey, that one worked out really good.
Wow, that was great. You're awesome.
Wow, that was great.
No, you guys are awesome. So, we've reached the end here. I do want to say, as I'm like heavy breathing, so I apologize. Big thank you to my co-coms here, Andy457 and Sigma, because obviously with me playing or trying to focus at a high level, it wasn't going to be the easiest thing to try and verbalize everything I was doing without sacrificing some skill. And so we wanted to put our best foot forward, and these guys, I think, did a fantastic job. Big shout out to Step Revolution. I'm having so much fun playing this game, and I just want to be able to share it with the world. This game deserves a lot of attention in my book because it's so much fun. And yeah, thanks for reviewing the submission, guys. Do really appreciate it.